Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We move on to our third part of discussion on obstructive jaundice, and it starts again with the same scenario. A 75 years old male presented with history of yellow discoloration of the sclera for last 3 months. There is history of anorexia and appreciable weight loss. On examination, the pulse is 88 beats per minute, blood pressure is 160 by 90. There is deep jaundice. Abdomen has got a painless globular mass in the right hypochondrium. If we analyze this scenario, old age of the patient, history of 3 months, anorexia and appreciable weight loss, this goes in favor of some malignant process. And further, a painless globular mass in the right hypochondrium, which is most probably a dilated distended gallbladder, and according to the Courvoisier's law, which we have read in the previous section of our discussion, according to Courvoisier's law, this palpable gallbladder is most probably because of some underlying malignant process. So our first diagnosis or probable diagnosis in this case would be the malignant jaundice, either resulting from the tumor of the head of the pancreas or the cholangiocarcinoma arising from the extrahepatic biliary passage. The differential diagnosis would be a benign CBD stricture, which we discussed that it might be because of if the patient has got a previous history of biliary surgery, then the injury to the extrahepatic biliary passage might have caused a benign stricture of the CBD. Important differential diagnosis is choledocholitis. One of the stones from the gallbladder might have slipped into the CBD, causing obstructive jaundice. So these are the important differential diagnosis in this case: choledocholitis, CBD stricture which may be benign or malignant resulting from cholangiocarcinoma, and a pancreatic head malignancy causing obstructive jaundice in this case. Now we come to the interpretation of the scenario. Most probable cause of obstructive jaundice in this case is malignancy, CA head of pancreas or cholangiocarcinoma, due to following reasons. 1. Old age, 75 years, you can see. Short duration of 3 months, anorexia with weight loss, and a painless palpable gallbladder, which according to Courvoisier's law usually results from some malignant process, not from a benign process. Now, whenever we come across certain cases in which we need to go for investigations, I always tell my students that always divide the investigations into 3 main groups. 1. The first aim of our investigation is to confirm our diagnosis. And the diagnosis is usually made on the history of on the basis of clinical history and thorough physical examination. So the first set would be the diagnostic investigations. Once we have diagnosed the case, then next step would be we will stage their disease, and the third would be the baseline investigations. This should be the sequence. The diagnostic investigations in this case would be: first, we have to clinically we have clinically seen that the patient is jaundiced, but now we have to prove it by lab investigation, and that is by going for liver function tests. And usually the LFTs in these cases show raised conjugated bilirubin. There is raised conjugated bilirubin along with high concentration of alkaline phosphatase. The urine examination in this case would show conjugated bilirubin, and there would be absent of urobilinogen. Other diagnostic investigation, and very important, is ultrasound abdomen. It will tell us about 1. Liver. Are there any metastases in the liver? Gallstones. You can see this red arrow showing a gallstone with a posterior shadowing in the gallbladder. So you can see gallstones. You can see CBD stones, as you can see here, marked by these small 2 yellow arrows pointing towards it with a red arrow, which is showing a CBD stone. It may show a distended gallbladder. The ultrasound will help us to look into the dilated extra intrahepatic biliary channels. It will also comment upon the pancreatic or periampullary mass. The ultrasound will also show lymphadenopathy at the porta hepatis, and it will also show if there is any ascites. So it's a very important investigation in these cases. Next important diagnostic investigation would be double contrast CT scan of the abdomen. It has got both diagnostic and staging significance. It will tell us about the location and origin of the mass. Either it is arising from pancreas, from the biliary channels, or other periampullary tumors. It will tell us about the local extent of the lesion and involvement of the surrounding structures, especially superior mesenteric vessels, because it is of the significance to decide is this tumor operable or not. Then it will comment upon the status of hepatic metastasis or metastatic lymph nodes in the porta hepatis. Again, it will confirm the absence or presence of ascites. So again, it is a very important investigation, and I will show you further images of the CT scan in the next slide. Here it is. So if you can see, in the first slide there is a mass. Duodenum is surrounding this mass. You can find these letters D, U, O. This is duodenum. The black arrow, the 2 black arrows, these are pointing towards the malignant mass, and behind it is the IVC, inferior vena cava, and on the left side there is aorta. And 2 white arrows, these are showing superior mesenteric vein and superior mesenteric artery, which are not yet involved in this pancreatic mass. So you can say that this is a operable mass. In the next slide, you can see these dark grayish, or you can say a bit blackish dilated channels within the liver, the grayish area of the liver, and these are marked by this yellow pointer, and these are a bit blackish markings. These are actually the dilated intrahepatic biliary channels, which signify the passage, which signify that there is obstruction to the passage of the bile. Another important investigation is the magnetic resonant cholangiopancreatography, also called as MRCP. It is as sensitive as ERCP and may prevent inappropriate explorations of the pancreatic and bile ducts in patients with suspected pancreatic carcinoma. In home, interventional endoscopic therapy is unlikely. So a very important feature on MRCP is double duct sign. Because of the obstruction caused by periampullary tumors, there is obstruction to the flow of pancreatic duct and also to the flow of the CBD. So both these ducts will be dilated, and it will show in the form of a double duct sign on MRCP. And there would be an abrupt cutoff of the lower end of the CBD, which is marked over here. You can see abrupt cutoff marked by 2 white arrows. Next investigation is chest x-ray, which will comment upon the distant metastasis. So this is a staging investigation, and you can see in this patient both the lungs are filled with cannonball metastatic deposits. So according to this x-ray, this patient has got multiple mets in the both the lungs. Then the third set of investigation are the baseline investigations, and these are usually done to find out the fitness of the case for surgery and to rule out any associated or comorbid conditions, for example hepatitis, for example diabetes mellitus, any renal compromise. So we will like to go for CBC, blood sugar, blood urea, and serum creatinine. These are important in this case. Why? Because there is a risk of hepatorenal shutdown, which is also called as hepatorenal syndrome. Hepatorenal syndrome occurs in deeply jaundiced patients. So in these cases we have to look for the urea and serum creatinine concentrations. Then we will screen this patient for B and C, hepatitis B and C, then blood grouping and cross matching, and ECG would also be required because your case is 75 years of age.